Have you ever been to that one in-law's house or family member's house where they want you to use a coaster, but have the most ugly coasters you've ever seen? Now, I'm not suggesting you carry a coaster around, because, I mean, if you want to do that, go ahead, but I feel like that's kind of a lot of work. But at least you can say at your house you have cuter coasters and proof of point. So I'm going to show you how to crochet a coaster. First, you need to get yarn, which in this case I am using Hometown yarn. I got it at Walmart for like $3. Wasn't crazy pricey. It doesn't have to be a certain thread count either. I've made coasters out of something this big. It just all depends on the person. Now, to start this project, you're going to want to look on your container. It should say the required crochet hook size. I'm going to show you real quick. Right there. As you can see, mine is required to have a 9mm hook. When I make coasters, I like to use one size down to make it more condensed and tighter packed. You will need crochet hooks. I use the Boils hooks. They come in a very cute little set, and I have more than one thing of this set. So I'm going to pull out a size 8mm hook. It doesn't matter what brand you use. It should always say the size on the hooks. First, you're going to want to start with something called a slip knot. So with a slip knot, you take the crochet. First things first, you wrap it around your pinky, as so. And then you take it and you wrap it around your first finger and you pinch, okay? Your hand should look like this. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to unravel your pinky and put the rest of it back to where all your yarn is cinched around your finger. Now, you're going to take some of your looser yarn, wrap it around your finger again to where you have you have two hooks, two sets, wrapped around your finger, like so. Now you're going to pull the bottom one on top of the first one. If it helps, you can separate them a little so you should have like one tiny X, and then you just pull this bottom one right back over. I pull it all the way over and use my finger to hook it, and then you just cinch, and you have made a slip knot. Now you can adjust this knot as you please. I try to have very little left over because I don't like wasting my yarn. You're going to put your needle in there, as so. And you're going to tighten your slip knot to about the size of your hook. Since you are using one size smaller, it's going to be a little snug, so I would have it a little extra loose. And you're going to start your first single stitch. You should have it like this. You're just going to sweep, pull through. And then you're just going to sweep and pull through again. Now you're going to do this until you have the size of the cut, the bottom of the cut. Okay, now that you've done that for a little while, you should have your cutest, like a cute little crochet bead. Some of you probably still have your hook in that last one that you did. I cannot definitely tell you how many you should do. I did about 10 to 15. It's really based on your cup. So like this is my cup. Here's the bottom of my cup compared to my crochet. How big of an area you're working with, if you're putting more than one drink on it, all of those. Now, you're going to start the second part. There are two sides to the little thing you just made. If you look, there's one side that looks just like a pretty braid. And then there's another side that has these little tiny, almost knots in it. What you're going to do is take your crochet hook and you find that first knot. After the crochet hook, yours may be closer, yours may be not. Do not worry if you miss one. I'm using an extra crochet hook that's much smaller. You can use a smaller one. You can try and peel it off yourself. But you're just going to try and loosen that hole. And then stick your crochet hook in it, like so. Now this is where you're going to do a single crochet stitch. So, you take your crochet hook, grab a piece of yarn, pull it through the first hole you just got that you just had to get. And then you should still have 2 on your hook. You do not pull it through your original hole. Now you grab another piece and pull it through the original hole. For those of you curious how I hold it, I just hold it around one finger. Some people do it around their whole hand. It's definitely just a comfort thing. Now you can pull it tight if you want. You can leave it loose. It doesn't matter. When you're done, it should look like this. If it doesn't look like this, you did something wrong. Now if you did something wrong, all you have to do, you'll take your hook out like this, and you should be able, all you have to do is pull this. If you ever want to tighten your project or take it apart, you just pull the string and it should all come apart. Now, once you're to this point, it's just singles all the way out until you make a square. Singles are the easy part. Now, you don't really need to count. You want to count, you can count each row. I personally don't on straight projects like these. But you want to take your hook and put it on underneath the yarn you just made. So it should look like this from one side, or this. And then you're just going to take your working yarn, pull through the hole, but you're still not pulling through that first hole. You just have 2 on your hook, grab a third, pull it through both, and then you're just going to continue doing that all the way throughout. Once you get to the end of your row, you should have like this. Mine has little holes in it, or little problems in it, that I will show you how I take care of later. It doesn't have to look perfect. What you're going to do once you get to the end of a row is take your hook and push it back through the pattern, the last hook you made, to your working yarn in front, pull through, like you're making a normal single crochet. And then, there you go, you just started your next row. Now you just keep doing that until you have a square-like shape. You should have what looks to be your coaster. You can do a size test by comparing it to your drink. I would typically do it on a flat surface. Okay. Now to finish it, you are going to need a pair of scissors. You have your last crochet at the very end. I like to have mine aligned with the other crochet that we started on the same side. Now, you're just going to pull it through a little, take your scissors, and snip in your bunny loop. And then you just pull out the other side, which should leave you with 2 almost little handles. Mine are not even at all. I had a lot left over. Now, what I like to do is I burn it. So I have a candle. I just kind of hold it over the candle, let that separate it, since it's just cheap yarn anyway. It's for a proper finish. Proper nice kind of finish. I go ahead and do that on both ends, except on the single crochet end, or on the very beginning part. I kind of go a little bit closer to the project, blow it out, rub it, there you go. Now some people like to go over it with a lighter completely, especially if you're using really cheap yarn, because it gets all those little fuzzies that the flame kind of takes care of. Just do a quick once over, and that right there, you have your coaster. Nice and cute. You don't have to use pink. Little tips: if you ever are scared that you did something wrong, just restart. As much of a pain as it seems, it's better to restart than realize you had a problem way farther down the line, and then just be mad. Alright, and that is all for today's speech. Have fun with your new coaster.